Your high school sports is excited to be entering its third season and now has expanded to the Tri-Cities area. Your high school sports is brought to you by these great sponsors.
Welcome this week to Week 3 quarterfinal games starting this Friday night. I'm Roddy Woods, and you're watching Your High School Sports. We're going to kick things off at Science Hill. Had a great season, but lost a heartbreaker last week to Smyrna. Then we're going to go over and visit with Coach Ballard. They take on a big game Friday night against Knox-Catholic, and then we'll wrap things up with Sean up at Elizabeth. And we got a special feature. We got Coach Matthews from Catholic that takes on Greeneville this week. Big, exciting show coming at you next right here on Your High School Sports.
Let the Charlie Long Agency protect the place you call home. Serving the Carter County area with 25 years of excellent customer service. Call for the protection you need and the service you want. The Charlie Long Agency, representing Allstate. Give us a call.
The Chevrolet Summer Bonus Tag Event is going on now at Buckman Bernard Chevrolet Buick GMC Cadillac here in Greeneville. I mean, the tags are everywhere. They're flying off the shelves. Cars are going like crazy. Tags with discounts, with savings. I mean, the discounts have never been this huge. The rebates have never been this big, and the APR has never been this low. You need to make the short trip to Buckman Bernard Chevrolet Buick GMC Cadillac right here in Greeneville, because if you don't hurry up, number one, it may be gone, and number two, we always save you money.
The revolutionary safety of the Michelin Premier family of tires is now available for more cars, trucks, minivans, and SUVs. So whatever you drive, you can take on wet or slippery roads with confidence mile after mile. Double D Tire can help you take changing weather in stride and save. Double D Tire has been family owned and operated since 1981. Owners Tommy and Flint Carter specialize in tires, alignments, brakes, suspension repairing, and custom wheels. Double D Tire would like to thank all their customers and look forward to serving you in the future.
Welcome back to this edition of Your High School Sports. I'm Roddy Woods, and Coach Carter has joined us. Coach, a hard-fought game last week, second round of the playoffs. I know you didn't want to go out that way, but talk about that game against Smyrna.
Well, I think anytime you get to the second round, 6A football, you're going to be facing a real good football team, and we definitely did. Smyrna had a great football team. They were well coached and a ton of athletes all the way around. They really did. We, first half we played very well. Made some mistakes right at the end of the half, and they took the lead. Right, and we led halfway, I think, through the second quarter, and then when we gave up the lead and we came out, we got the ball the first or third quarter. Was driving it pretty well, and we threw an interception. They returned it to about the 40, and after that, there was a lot of mistakes. I think we had 4 turnovers. I had 0, and playing a team like that, you can't have 4 turnovers. And a lot of those turnovers were, they were created. They made some great plays, and I think I said last week is going to come down to the team that make the most plays, and they made more plays than we did. They did, and hats off to those guys. I'm proud of our kids, what they accomplished. Of course, we're not happy about that, right. But now it is what it is, and you got to move forward.
In a game like that, like you said, when you get to the second round of the TSSAA playoffs, you're going to be playing some good teams, especially in this new classification you guys got, this 32 team. So somebody you hadn't seen all year, you saw them on film, but that's not like going out there and facing them face-to-face, is it?
No, I mean, you never know. Never know what the kids are like till you get there in person, anyhow, and that's part of it. But they do have some very physical kids. Have a lot of young kids that are going to be coming back too. So future probably is very bright for those guys. But they have a great tradition. I think they've won a couple state championships and runner up there in 2010. So football is important to them. Their losses come to very, very good teams. Oakland and a Blackman team that they played well. So it's a good football team.
So you move on. You got things. I see you here in your media room where we're at today taping this. But a lot of things that you've got to do to get ready for spring practice, getting a new facility. You said to me that you got a lot of things. You still got to move from the old wet dressing room over here. You've got some things to take your mind off of that, don't you?
Well, we got a lot of work to do. We, there's a lot of things that have happened good, but, created a lot of work. We moved right in here without lockers or everything. We still have half of our stuff in another field house. We've a lot of things have went on. That with the season has made it a longer season because it's made there's been a lot of change, a lot of good, but it's been busy and a lot of things we got to finish up that we hadn't finished yet. And we also brought ETSU. ETSU's been in here playing, which was great. It's a good thing, but it's more hurdles that the athletic director and we have had to figure out some things. So there's just been a lot of stuff going on here. It's we feel like we had a good season, not as good as we'd like to have, of course, but it's just time to kind of tie up all those loose ends.
You mentioned just a second ago about your season. You had a very good season. You lose 2 games. You lose to the number 1 team in the state, and then you lose late in the season to Bearden. But then Bearden gave you a present back to keep you at home. But talk about the season from top to bottom a little bit.
Well, I thought we had a good season. Up until Maryville, we didn't play very well and lost Justin, but we didn't play very well in that game, and playing probably the number 1 team in the state and for the last 10, 15 years. So other than the road trip to Bearden that went in double overtime, single overtime, could have went either way, and they went for 2 and won it. We didn't play great, but we battled back, and it could have went either way. You take those games, especially that one, it can change it. We have a 10-win season, but that's kind of the one we stumped our toe on probably. But the rest of them, we probably got beat by a better team.
And then you capped things off by beating your Dobbins Bennett. That had to feel good for your team going into the playoffs.
Well, it's a big game for us. It is, and it's been something that means a lot to the Tri-Cities. And then we went 22 years and didn't win that game. So to win in that game for the the third straight year and the 4th straight time, is a big deal for us.
So everything right now, let's just kind of, the season's over. What do you do now besides getting things ready for spring practice? Does get the equipment turned in? When do you actually get with the kids again, the boys again, and start working out?
We have a mandatory 3-week period. So, we're trying to get our banquets in order and all our equipment up. And so that will be December 7th for us, and that's when our banquet is. And we'll do some, baseline testing for our lifting and getting ready for January to really to kick it off. So, we're ready to go and getting ready to start up and do it again. And that's it's kind of how it is now.
And then you've got a couple players. You told me that you got a couple players already got invited to the East-West Toyota game.
We have 2 players in Elijah Mathis got invited and just had a great year. What a great kid. And also Quentin Alabocas, our defensive lineman, and played offensive line for us. So he got invited too. So that's a big deal for them. Hopefully we got some other kids that's going to get invited to some of these, maybe the Kentucky, Tennessee, but we got some great kids.
Coach, it's been a pleasure coming up every week and talking to you. We appreciate you taking the time to be a part of your high school sports. And Coach is going to be back with us in January because we kick off a whole new season in January. But he's going to be doing a little bit of things a little bit different about how he takes his daughter to school, just the ins and outs of everyday football, Coach. So you make sure you join us in January. But we'll be right back. We're going to make our way up to see Sean, and then we're going to have a conversation with the coach of the Catholic who takes on Greeneville this Friday night. So make sure you stay right here for your high school sports. We'll be right back.
If you're in the market for a quality used vehicle, here's a grand opening you don't want to miss. Gateway Auto Center of Jonesboro is now open. East Tennessee's bargain outlet for cars, trucks, SUVs, and more, located across from Ingalls in Jonesboro, a division of Gateway Ford Lincoln Mazda in Greeneville, and the only used car dealer in the region offering the Gateway Carefree Car Deal on over 100 pre-owned vehicles. Upfront pricing posted on the windshield, top dollar for your trade-in, and a lifetime powertrain warranty. Gateway Auto Center on Highway 11E in Jonesboro, online at gatewayusedcars.com.
Advantage of great deals like this new Ford Focus
or this new Ford Fiesta.
Your choice.
For as low as $199 a month. And don't forget about the great deals on the new Ford Fusion for as low as $249 a month.
Right in the heart of Morristown.
If you're in the market for a quality used vehicle, here's a grand opening you don't want to miss. Gateway Auto Center of Jonesboro is now open. East Tennessee's bargain outlet for cars, trucks, SUVs, and more, located across from Ingalls in Jonesboro, a division of Gateway Ford Lincoln Mazda in Greeneville, and the only used car dealer in the region offering the Gateway Carefree Car Deal on over 100 pre-owned vehicles. Upfront pricing posted on the windshield, top dollar for your trade-in, and a lifetime powertrain warranty. Gateway Auto Center on Highway 11E in Jonesboro, online at gatewayusedcars.com.
Welcome back to this edition of Your High School Sports. I'm your host, Roddy Woods, and Coach Cain Ballard has joined us now. Coach, let's talk about the big win you had last Friday night against Knoxville Central.
Hey, awesome win for us. Played a really good Knox Central team. Very talented, very athletic. There's a lot of speed at their skill positions, and, it was a huge win for our football team. We finally put it all together. We're really good offensively for the first time all year, and just proud of our guys for the fight they had and getting that big second-round win.
When you play a team like that, you face two Knoxville teams and getting ready to face a third one. But that Central team had a real good season, and you guys had put things together. I know last week when we talked, you said that you hope your team put everything together, and it sounds like you did.
Well, at this time of year, it takes it all. It takes all three phases to come away victorious. This time of year, and like I said earlier, our offense, we met every offensive goal that we have for the first time all year, and which starts with the turnover battle. We'd struggled this year with turnovers, and we're able to not turn it over at all, and kind of set the tone for the rest of the goals to fall in place offensively. Again, we played a very talented team full of speed, and credit our defense, for holding them to 17. We been a lot defensively, but didn't give up a whole lot of points, and our special teams were good again as they have been all year.
Sounds like Coach Hammond's defense pretty much took a stand, didn't he?
Well, they did. We gave up a big one on their first drive. They struck first and went up on a touchdown pass down the seam, and our kids took that punch from them and went right back at them and went down and scored and evened it up there. And it was a back and forth game though. It was 2017 with 11 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. Just very much a back and forth game as you would expect this time of year. And but our guys were able to gut it out and finish strong there in the end. Just very proud of the way we played.
All right, we're going to put this second-round game in the books. Give me a grade on last week's game.
I'll give us a B+.
All
B+
right.
for last week.
B+. All right, now let's set up this week's quarterfinal game against Knox-Catholic. Is that the team you thought you'd have to play, Coach?
We knew Knox-Catholic and Fulton were probably the top teams down there. Rematch between them in a very close regular season game. So could have gone either way. Great football teams battling it out there, and Catholic came out on top. So I wouldn't say that I'm surprised either way that game went.
Coach Matthews' team, we talked early to him, and he said that his team is pretty healthy than they have been all year long. Talk about Catholic and set them up for us, Coach.
Great football team, just across the board. They've got it all. Great size up front, great speed. One of the best players in the state in Amari Rogers. So, they got it all. Kicking game solid, just a well-coached, very athletic, very talented, very big football team.
Any weaknesses that Greeneville can get over on them? Is there anything that they are weak at?
No, I don't see any weaknesses, no.
So everything that you've got to do is Greeneville's got to play like they played last week, correct?
We got to play like we played last week with just a little bit more, yes.
How's practice been this week? I know you just got started on Monday. Today's Tuesday. How's the morale?
Really good. Our kids are excited to be where we are. I think we're hungry for more. anytime you're in the final 8, you've had the season we've had, there's a lot of excitement. Hosting a third-round game, our community's excited. We got people stepping up everywhere, offering dinners, and they're getting together at the community and school and making signs and making plans for a huge Friday. It's going to be a TV game, and the atmosphere will be unbelievable here Friday night.
Coach, last question: how's the health of your football team?
Well, for this time of year, I'd say we are very healthy as well. So, fortunate there. It's just, we've been at this, guys, since June, and it's just a grind, and that people don't understand, that aren't involved with it. But for our players to be as healthy as we are at this point, it's pretty amazing.
Well, Coach, we appreciate you taking your time to be a part of this week's Your High School Sports, and good luck Friday night. Remember, fans, all TSSAA playoff games begin at 7 p.m. Coach, thank you again.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Welcome back to this edition of Your High School Sports. We're on the phone now with Catholic head coach, Mr. Steve Matthews. Coach, welcome to the show.
I appreciate you having me on. Thank you.
Coach, a couple things I asked you off camera there. Talk about the health of your football team from the Morristown East game up to this game right here this Friday night.
Well, the big one would be Chase Kirsten. He's one of our top receivers and top DBs. He was out about the first 5 weeks of the year. Also, Cain is a big left tackle for us. He missed a couple games there early. And so it's taken a while for us to get our rhythm offensively. I feel like we're playing much better now and hopefully gelling at the right time as a team.
Well, it sounds like you got all the cylinders clicking on your team, because you got a big win last Friday night against Fulton. Talk about that win for us, Coach.
Well, it was a tough fought game. We got off to a big lead. We played them in week 5 and they beat us. And we made a few adjustments, and I think it helped us in getting off to it. We got off to a 26 lead in the first quarter, and after that, just hung on for dear life and were able to win 28-25. But Coach Black and that Fulton program, they're outstanding, and they took it out of us. It was a physical, hard-fought game, and my challenge right now as a coach is to get us back up for this Friday, both emotionally and physically, and hopefully play one of our best games Friday night.
Well, that was something we talked about last night as a group from our show. We talked about you guys. How would it be to get your team back to the ground? They're flying high on cloud 9. How long did you let them go that way before you said, hey, we got to reel this thing back in?
Well, we have a midnight rule. Whether we win or lose, we try to forget about it Friday night at midnight and move on to the next opponent. But, I don't see them on Saturday and Sunday, and then coming to school Monday, that was all they heard about was the big win. And so yesterday we took it kind of light on them than we usually do. So I'm hoping today we're back focused on Greeneville. But, you're dealing with teenagers here, and so we got to really focus on a good Green Devil team.
And let's talk about those Green Devils. Coach Ballard has, got his team playing pretty good right now. They're just coming off a region championship, and then they beat a good Knox Central team last week. Talk about Greeneville.
Well, they're outstanding. The guy that stands out is Dabs, the running back. He's as good as we've seen up front. They're outstanding on offense. Defensively, they're big. They're going to be one of the bigger teams we've seen this year. And also playing at their place. I haven't been there, but I've heard it gets rowdy, and it's a big home field advantage for them. So we're going to have a lot to overcome, and they're going to have to play extremely well in order to come out with a victory.
We've been talking to Coach Ballard pretty much every week this year, and like he says, this is a big game for both of you guys. And, I guess his expectations were they were going to play Fulton again, but now they got to refocus and get ready for a good Knox-Catholic team. So looks like you guys got y'all's hands full both ends come Friday night.
Yeah, no doubt. I think almost everybody thought Fulton would just do what Fulton usually does. They're 54-4 in the last 58 games. So they've been kind of dominating with the 4A. But, we were able to knock them off, and now it's time to move on. And we went to the semifinals years ago, so we've kind of been in this territory.
Correct.
But hopefully our guys will just go out and play well.
Give me 1 point, Coach, you got to do Friday night to beat Greeneville.
Control the tailback. I don't think we'll be able to completely shut him down by any means, but if we can just keep him from running wild, that obviously will give us the best chance of winning.
All right, Coach, we appreciate you taking the time to be a part of your high school sports, and good luck Friday night against Greeneville.
All right, thank you very much. I really appreciate it.
All right, thanks, Coach. We'll be right back here on Your High School Sports right after this.